Alrighty, so we're going to be continuing the story of the Olympics. And before we start, look, my mom gave me this medal that I guess I won way too long ago. Shows how old I am. I wonder what it was for, whether it was for long jump or sprinting. But in any case, practice makes perfect. Okay, so what were we up to? Chapter 3, the show. Every fourth spring, 3 heralds journeyed around Greece to announce a period of peace, known as the Olympic Truce, for 1 month before and after the Games. The Greeks were constantly at war. During the truce, fighting was banned near Olympia so that the people could travel to the festival in safety. Put your feet up, lads. As soon as the truce was over, everyone went back to battle. After 100 years of the Games, there were 18 main events. The first one was chariot race, known as Tethrypon. Tethrypon? God, I can't even translate that. Tethrypon. Which took place in an arena called the Hippodrome. Hippos means horse. Tethrypon? Oh, I need to see it written in Greek. God, embarrassing that I don't know how to say it. One of the highlights was the pentathlon, a series of 5 events. According to legend, this was invented by a Greek hero named Jason, who competed in the first pentathlon against his friend Peleus. The pentathlon included throwing the discus, throwing the javelin, that's a lot of throwing, running, wrestling, and the long jump. I was very good. I love the long jump and sprinting. The most brutal event was the savage contest called Pankration. Men could punch, kick, and break each other's bones. The only things that weren't allowed were biting and eye gouging, like this. Olympic winners were awarded a crown of olive leaves, and their names were proclaimed in songs and poems throughout Greece. When the Romans conquered Greece in the 2nd century BC, the Games were still popular. But in AD 393, dates after Christ's birth are known as AD, which stands for Anno Domini, or Year of Our Lord in Latin. 1,169 years after the Olympic Games began, a Christian Roman emperor known as Theodosius I banned them. His soldiers destroyed the temple of Zeus too. What a shame. Over the years, Olympia fell into ruin. After an earthquake and then a flood, the site lay buried deep under the ground. It remained hidden for more than 1,000 years. Chapter 4, a grand plan. In 1875, a German archaeologist named Ernst Curtius uncovered temples, sculptures, and pots among the ruins at Olympia. This sparked a wave of interest in the ancient games. A French nobleman, Baron Pierre de Coubertin, was fascinated by the Olympics and read everything he could about them. An enthusiastic boxer, fencer, rower, and horse rider, de Coubertin believed that sports could help everyone become stronger and more successful. He studied how sports were played in different countries. In England, he admired the fiercely competitive sports at schools such as rugby, where rugby was invented. He also visited a small town called Much Wenlock in England that held a sports festival known as the Wenlock Olympian Games. This sparked an idea in his mind. In 1892, at a gathering of sports officials, de Coubertin announced his plan to start an international Olympic Games. No one listened. They don't seem to be listening. De Coubertin didn't give up. He spent 2 more years tirelessly writing letters and talking to world leaders. Finally, he arranged another meeting of sports officials. This time, his plan was accepted. De Coubertin was thrilled. His next job was to form a group to organize the new Olympics. This became known as the International Olympic Committee, or the IOC. Okay, this is omitting some important details, but we'll learn all that when you guys get a bit older. A successful start. The first modern Olympic Games opened on the 6th of April, just 2 days after a very important boy's birthday on the 4th, 1896, in the city of Athens in Greece. Thousands of spectators gathered to watch male athletes from 14 countries compete in 9 different sports: athletics, cycling, fencing, gymnastics, shooting, swimming, tennis, weightlifting, and wrestling. Women could only watch. That's a real shame. That is very sexist. They should be given the same opportunities to participate, but unfortunately in the first games they were not given that. In those days, many people, including de Coubertin, thought women were too delicate to play sports. Okay, so this is nonsense. This is just unfair and nonsense. We know that this is not true, so it's a real shame that things were like that, but luckily people change nowadays and this is no longer the case. One of the biggest problems for many athletes was the journey to Athens. An American named James Connolly spent almost all his life sailing on the boat trip from New York to Naples, which took 17 days. The trip was worth it. Connolly won the hop, and jump, now triple jump, and became the first medal winner in the modern games. I did not know that. That's quite interesting. What's his name? James Connolly. Cool. In Greece, the most famous athlete that won the Olympic Games, he won the marathon in the 1896 Olympics. This guy called Spiros Lewis. And if you want to say that you're very, very fast, people say that you can run like Lewis. The entry rules weren't very strict. An Irish tourist named John Bolland signed up at the last minute and ended up winning the tennis singles and doubles competitions. Yeah, competition was not very... it was not the highest quality back then. Swimmers had to be especially tough. They had to jump out of boats into the open sea and race to shore in icy cold water. I mean, in April, it wouldn't have been icy in April in Greece. It would have been, okay. Not as bad as Brockwell Lido in winter. The highlight was the marathon race of 40 kilometers, well, no more than that, 42, nearly 25 miles, invented for the Athens Olympics. It was inspired by a story about a Greek soldier named Philippides. In 490 BC, he ran the distance from Marathon to Athens with news of Greece's victory over the Persians. Rejoice! Greece has won the war. Nenikikamen. He simply shouted that, which means we won in ancient Greek. We had to learn that when we were at school. The first, oh my God, as I said it before I even read it, at the first marathon race, as Athens drew to a close, the crowd leaped to their feet when a Greek runner called Spiridon Lewis, see, same name as me, Spiridon or Spiros Lewis, entered the stadium for the final lap. Yes. Overcome with excitement, 2 Greek princes, sons of King George I of Greece, jumped onto the track and ran alongside Lewis to the finish line. Cool. I'm going to read the rest tomorrow. I hope you guys liked it. I love you loads. Heart.